Yo, what is good? Welcome to another educational video. Today's video is going to be kind of like the opposite of what you guys are used to. It's going to be on how to know what trades not to take. So instead of telling you guys how to take trades, I'm going to tell you how to find trades that aren't necessarily the best to be taking, when not to take trades, all that. It should be relatively quick. Because I feel like my entry videos are pretty exact. It's pretty step by step. But I did talk about how there's some trades, and sometimes when you get that market intuition, that market experience, knowing when not to take it. So I'll try and explain some of that, and give you guys even more information on when and where to take the right trades. So to start off, ideally, you are not going to be taking trades towards the end of a session open. Okay, so we're literally just going to make this a list. Okay, so one, again, on the fly. Don't take trades near session closes. Okay, and the reason why we don't do that is because, one, okay, the session is about to end. So the money that has been cycling through that session, and this is why we also trade on session opens, because that's when all that new money comes into the market, right? During Asian session, all the Asian session money comes into the market. During London session, all the London session comes into the market, and they're trying to make that market move. They're trying to get moves to go, right? So you can imagine as the sessions start to wind down, as the sessions start to end, okay, start to close, the volume, the volatility dies down. If you place a trade near the end of a session, odds are it probably won't move much. It'll move like 5 or 6 pips, okay? Versus if you enter a trade at the beginning of a session near market open, you're more than likely going to get a actual move, okay? So that's the first thing. Don't take trades near session closes. Number 2, okay, don't take trades that are forced. Okay, and what do I mean by that? What do I mean by forced trades? Sometimes, and I know you guys will know what I'm talking about because I've been in your position before, sometimes you guys kind of just make up reasoning to enter a trade. You kind of just give yourself a reason. You force the reason to why you take a trade, even though you know for a fact you shouldn't. So, for example, let's say you see one of your qualifications get hit, but the other one doesn't. Okay, right? Let's say we get a liquidity sweep, but we don't get a break of structure. And you're like, well, that's good enough. And boom, what happens next? Stopped out, right? We want to play off of high probability. The whole point of this whole game, the whole point of trading is to play off of probability, and your probability won't be high if you're forcing trades, if you're trying to convince yourself that it's a good trade to take, when in reality, it's kind of just a little hit of dopamine that you're seeking. You're essentially treating it like a casino at this point if you're forcing a trade, right? You're not playing off of probability, you're playing off of hope. You're just hoping that it goes in your direction. So stop forcing trades, only enter trades when you know exactly when to execute. How do you know exactly when to execute? When your trading plan says so. When it checks off all the boxes in your trading plan. You're taking one trade a day. Perfect. You haven't taken any other trades today. This is the one. You're risking 1%. Got your lot sizes lined up. Perfect. This is the one. It swept liquidity. It broke structure. It touched a fair value gap. And it gave you a reaction. It looks freaking great. Enter. Okay? Don't force trades. Don't try and convince yourself that a trade is good to take when you know in reality it is not, okay? Don't try and convince yourself to take a trade, because a day out of the market is actually better than a day in the market, because a day in the market, you're actually putting risk on the table, okay? So don't take trades that are forced. Okay, let's get back in here. Go to the third one. Okay, third one. When else would I not want to take a trade? Literally gut feeling. Okay, sometimes this does come with time, okay, and sometimes this can go against you. Okay, so this one comes with experience, and this is where the intuition comes in, and it just comes with understanding your pair. Okay, so back in the day when I only traded Forex, GJ, this girl, this was my baby. Okay, I only traded this. This was my pair. Traded it Asian session, London session, and I loved it. I loved how it moved. I knew how it moved, and I knew when it wanted to move. And it was just great. It worked great for me. It had a high volatility, high volume, and it moved at all the right times that I wanted to. So I got really comfortable, and I got a really good feeling of when this thing and where this thing wanted to go. So that gut feeling it's almost like, how do I explain this? You ever know when you're really good at something? Like, let's say you're really good at playing basketball, and that's not even a good analogy. Let me think of another analogy. Like on a test, okay? Let's say you're taking a test and it's a multiple choice and you just have a gut feeling. Like, this is the answer. You don't know for sure, right? Because I don't know for sure that GJ is going to move a certain way. It just comes from experience. Like, let's say you're super smart in one subject, but you don't necessarily know the right answer, and it's multiple choice, and you're like, I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that this is the right thing to take, or that this is the wrong thing to take. So I know that's not necessarily exactly what you want to hear, but that does come with experience. As you watch these markets move day in and day out, there's nothing changing, right? It's the same pair. It moves similarly every single day. So if something does something every single day and you're awake and watching it every single day, how it moves, how it reacts off certain price points, off certain areas, at certain times of the day, okay, you are going to get really familiar with that pair and how it moves, and eventually you're going to develop that gut feeling of when and when not to take trades, okay? So I had a good example of this. I'm trying to remember when this was. It was on gold. And it was on the sell-off. Where was it? Was it this? No. Oh, dude, it might have been... Was it this? Tuesday? Yeah, I think it was. Where was it? I can't find it. But there was a gold trade that broke structure to the downside off of an area that we would usually have taken that trade. I know people that DM'd me saying, why didn't you take this trade? Why did you take the other trade that ended up hitting all of our take profits? And I literally couldn't give them much of an explanation besides I just didn't like it. It didn't look good to me. And it doesn't make sense when I say that, but you guys will eventually develop that feeling where you're saying, hey, yes, I know my checklist was ticked off. And if anything, this is good to have in the back of your brain saying, yes, my checklist was ticked off, but there's that one other check, which is in here saying, okay, are we sure about this? Or not necessarily are we sure about this, but does this look like something that gold would do? Does this look like something that GJ would do? Right? It's just market experience. And I know that's difficult to hear because most of you guys are probably new to these markets, but you will eventually get that type of market experience. You'll eventually get that as you guys put in the work, right? This stuff doesn't just happen natural, or it doesn't just happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of time to form. Okay. So don't take trades in your session closes. Don't take trades that are forced, and get that gut feeling. Okay. And that just comes with time. Okay, let me try and think of any other times that I wouldn't want to take a trade. Obviously, news. We talk about that all the time. I wouldn't want to take a trade during news, and I wouldn't want to take a trade that's right before news. Obviously, I mean, I know people have varying opinions on this, but I don't like trading news. I don't want to trade news. It's caused me to lose a lot of money in the past, and it's also caused me to make a lot of money, but it's pretty much a guess. You're pretty much getting lucky if you make money, and you're getting unlucky if you lose money. So I just like to avoid it. I like to trade in high probability times. When everything's going with me, that's when you're going to be trading at your highest probability. And again, right, trading is all based on probability. So if you are trading near the end of a session when volume is low and price probably isn't going to move much, what are the odds that it's going to even hit your take profit or even move in your direction, right? Odds are it'll probably just consolidate, and then next thing you know, a new session started, Asian session started, and that's new money coming into the market that's going to freaking whipsaw your trade. And now Asian session comes in the market and now you might have a new bias, right? These markets are moving and we're constantly adapting and having to rethink, rewire our brain on how we should trade these markets, right? We don't tell the market where to go. We just have to watch and see where it goes, and we have to make a good educated guess on where it's going. And if it doesn't go in our direction, we have to adapt, we have to improvise, because it's not the market's fault, it's our fault because we got it wrong. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other times that I wouldn't want to trade. Oh, definitely. This goes into the psychological area, but oops. Don't trade when you are emotional. And you might not even know that you're emotional, but I'll help you figure out if you are, okay? If you recently broke up with a girlfriend or she dumped you and you are sad, if you are angry, if you are in a bad mood in general, do not trade. Because imagine being in a bad mood, having to wake up early, and then imagine you lose that trade that day. Think about how upset you are going to be. It's going to ruin your day and will probably cause you to spiral out of control and go into all those emotional, those things that emotional traders do, right? It'll probably cause you to end up revenge trading. And guys, this happened to me. This literally happened to me. I was in a terrible mood. I lost a trade and I just got so upset. I was like, why can't I do this? And I got really upset. And then what did I end up doing? I was like, no, I know how to do this. I need to know how to do this. I started looking at the chart. And then what did I do? I forced a trade. I forced a trade because I convinced myself, hey, this trade will make my money back. No, it won't. Whenever you lose a trade and instantly start looking for another one, odds are you're going to lose that next trade. And odds are if you go back again after that, your vision is just completely skewed. At that point, you are completely forcing trades. You're convincing yourself that these are good trades to take because you want to make that money that you lost back. So don't do that. Don't fall into that emotional trap. If you're going through a hard time, do not trade. It is a terrible spiral to go down. I went down it and it causes you to, one, end up broke, okay? You're going to lose all your money by trading emotionally and trading when you are emotional, okay? You're going to end up losing trades because you're not clear-headed, you're not clear-minded, you're not focused, you're not disciplined, you're just emotional, okay? You don't want your emotions taking the trades. You want to be, boom, robotic, okay? Robots don't have no emotions, okay? They see check, 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 perfect, execute, right? That should be you when you're trading, okay? We're going to wrap it up with those 5 things, okay? Another quick little video, another little tip and trick video for you guys. Hopefully this is something that you can add to your arsenal. I'm slowly just trying to tick away at these small little boxes so you guys can start checking off all these small little mistakes to get one step closer to profitability. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bang.